Hello again, everyone. So now we're going to be moving on to Hymenoptera. So the order Hymenoptera includes bees, wasps, ants, and sawflies. So hymenopterans are characterized by having a narrow waist and they have stingers. However, stingers are modified ovipositors. Ovipositors are basically an egg-laying body part. So this means that only females can sting, since males cannot lay eggs and thus could not have an ovipositor. Additionally, hymenopterans are capable of social behavior, which makes them very interesting to study and to see their social dynamics. And in social colonies, females typically do a majority of the work. So that's super interesting. So in this diagram, we can see that hymenopterans have this thin waist and they might have a stinger. So here are a couple of hymenopterans that you could come into contact with. So this first one is the American bumblebee. They're pretty fuzzy and they're pretty big. And the next one is a honeybee. And honeybees actually aren't native to North America. They're actually from Europe and Asia. However, they were domesticated and brought here a long time ago. And you might not think that bees have a super thin waist. However, they actually do. It's just a little bit hard to tell because they're pretty fluffy. Next, there's also ants included in this order. And so this is one ant that you will probably see. You have probably come into contact before because they have a sting and a bite that hurts really bad. They're the fire ants, also known as Solenopsis invicta. So these fire ants are also not native to the United States. They are an invasive species and they're really bad for our ecosystem because they can thrive on chaos. And so many other ants that cannot survive things like flooding, these ants can. And so they can take over the habitats of our native ants and outcompete them, which is not good for our ecosystem. Here's a type of wasp known as the paper wasp. And then there's also sawflies. This next order is Coleoptera. So the order Coleoptera includes beetles. This is the largest known order since beetles are extremely diverse. Beetles are characterized by having hardened forewings known as elytra. So you can see, like, when you first look at a beetle, you might not notice that they have wings because on their abdomen, it looks like exoskeleton. These actually used to be their forewings, but over many millions of years of evolution, these forewings have evolved to be hardened so they can protect the hind wings, which actually still do serve for flight. So examples of beetles include ladybugs and June bugs. So here are some other insects that you might come into contact with. This is a ladybug. There's this ironclad beetle, which is super big and cool looking. There's a squeaky beetle, which is also fairly large, and it's called squeaky beetle because it makes little squeaking noises, which is absolutely adorable. So this next insect is the cotton boll weevil. And you might look at this and think that it is a hemipteran because this external protrusion on the front of its head does kind of look like a sucking mouth part. However, it is not. It's of the order Coleoptera. And the way that we can tell that is because it does not have that triangle on its back. And the last order that we will be looking at in this video is Odonata. Odonata includes dragonflies and damselflies, and they're actually one of the oldest lineages of insects. Fun fact, dragonflies cannot fold their wings on their back like most other insects can because they evolved before the ability to fold wings evolved. So that is just very interesting to me. And this fact also distinguishes dragonflies from damselflies, since damselflies are able to fold their wings up on their back. So the distinctive body shape in which they have this long abdomen, as well as their predatory legs in which they're able to grab up prey, characterizes the order Odonata. And a lot of people might not know this, but dragonflies and damselflies are actually predatory. They feed on smaller insects, and they are considered aquatic since they live around water and they lay their eggs in the water. So in this slide, you can see again a dragonfly in which it's sitting perched, but it's unable to fold its wings on its back. Its wings are fully extended. It cannot put them back up on their back. And then here is a damselfly in which you can see that they can fold their wings. So thanks for tuning into this video. In the next video, we will be discussing the last 3 order of insects that we will be talking about in this insect survey.